Okay. So we're going to start by when a Bemer arrives, it arrives in its bag. And what's probably the hardest part of having a Bemer is getting it out of the box. So open it up, pull the Bemer out. When you get the Bemer out of the box that it's shipped in, it will be in its own little Bemer box. Being in its Bemer box, it's covered in a protective cover. We're going to pop this off. Whoop. So a great thing about Bemer is that they have an amazing warranty, which I don't think many people need to use it, but I use my Bemers for probably 10 hours a day. So some of my connectors need a little bit of love, and everything is very easy just to get help, get whatever you need. So when you open a Bemer, this is what you get. Thank you. So we're going to start with this side and go through what is in it. Here is the brains of your unit, and when it comes, it has very little programming in it. It would work, and you could do with just what they had, but it's work. I'm going to show you what I do here so that you can use it for lots more things. Here is plugs for everywhere that you ever could possibly think of going. You just have to find the United States plug and use it. The rest of these, and one of these that you may, if you're traveling, there is a car charger plug. So that's really nice to have, so that you can use it whenever. These are just different if you're going to Europe, if you're going to, I think this is Asia.
You can travel with the Bemer.
Yeah, and plug it in wherever you go. So these are extra cords.
That's a good bonus.
Here is your power pack for your plug. We're going to open this up, plug it into the United States plug. This is the end that you will put into the back of the Bemer. It can only go one way. And then it has a little thing if you want to pull it this way, or if you want to pull it that way, just so that it lays flat on whatever surface that you have it on. And then to turn on the Bemer, you would just push that button, and now it will start to. So here's a button right here. So we'll let that turn on while we go over the rest of the stuff. Also in your box, you will have your B spot. Your B spot has two tops that go on it. This spot is just kind of like a blast of Bemer. You have a bad knee. Didn't we use this on you?
Yeah.
You put this on your knee and you just can do a session with it. I have had a sinus infection one time, and I actually had my little glasses up here, and I would come lay down and I would just do this on so that it was just going into my head and just right on my sinuses. Amazing relief. So wherever you just want a blast of this, and we'll go over the settings so that what setting is best for what things you're doing. But what I love about this, everything's just magnetic. So you put it in and it just pops in and it stays.
Oh, okay.
The other attachment for your B spot is light. This is red light therapy. This is amazing for skin. So anytime that you have any skin condition, it's great. A skin condition even is old skin. So when I feel motivated, and you can just put this and shine it on your skin. So it does wonderful stuff for your complexion.
Oh, for Rosalie.
Yeah, for Rosa, you can use that.
Yeah. If she has anything going on, this is amazingly good for it. With this red light therapy, it's important to be mindful that you do not put it in your eyes. So with this unit, that comes with it is a pair of safety goggles so that you can wear your little glasses so that you're just being safe. If you're putting it someplace else, I have one client that has a rash on her stomach. So I don't put the safety goggles on because it's on her stomach, but just so that you know that that's there. So there's that attachment that goes with it.
Okay.
Also with your unit is, so this is your Bemer mat. And one of the things that I had to learn is the Bemer is inside of this protective casing. And so when I first started to sleep on my Bemer, I was going, oh, I have to keep it in this protective thing. And it's much more comfortable to not have it on your bed with this protective cover on it. So it just zips in and out of this cover. So if by any time that you are just using it on your bed, you can pull it, you can just zip it out of here. It's white, it comes out, you can put it on your bed, and then also, again, what I had to learn, this is just a piece of fabric that's in a circle. And when you pull it out, you think it's a cover for this. And it just doesn't work. And you go, why do I have this piece of fabric that's a circle? This is for your mattress. So when you pull this out and you have the white Bemer piece that's there, you take this out, so you put this on your bed, and I actually have it next to my mattress. And then you put this around your whole mattress so it's holding the Bemer in place. So, you know, when you put some things on, it kind of walks as it's going. This keeps this solid right where you want it, so it's not moving off of the bed or out from underneath you. It holds it in place, and now I have that next to my mattress. Then I have a mattress pad, and then I have my sheets, and so that's what this is for. This is the piece that goes onto your B spot. So if you want to hold it on your knee, if you want to hold it someplace.
I was gonna say, I remember it was something.
Yeah, that we put on you. This is the B strap. The B strap is the most versatile thing, even more than the mat, because on the mat, you have to lay on the mat. The strap, you can be watching TV, you can be sitting someplace, you can be doing anything, and you can put this strap anywhere on you. And we all know how powerful it is. When we saw that what it did for you and your family, it was, we know how powerful this stuff is. So those are the pieces of your Bemer. And I still don't know what that's for. It's just a plastic. So now we have our B box. So we'll move these things out of the way. Here's a manual. It's written in a whole bunch of languages. It's easier to call me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you want to mount it, so I sleep with mine, but I still don't have it mounted. If you wanted to mount this by your bed, that fits right on it so that it stays protected. So that's a piece that is, depending on how and where you use it. With so many people needing it at your house, probably good to keep it on the chair so that people can cycle
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be probably.
on and off. And I'm gonna set this right over here. So here is the B box. So this, if you just push on it, it will stand up. So it's just easier to look at if it's. So if you look here, when you first turn on the box, it comes on and it has 4 different things on it. The 4 things, this is, if you will have 10 intensities is what they call them. If you go to this, you can use those intensities. So you want to do intensity 2. All of this section will do for 8 minutes. All of Bemer, all of their studies and all of the things they've done have been done on 8 minutes in the morning, 8 minutes at night. So this is wonderful for that 8-minute duration. If you want longer sessions, here we do longer sessions. So we very seldom use this portion of the B box, which is this first one right here. What we use here is this one, and this one is a programmable section that you can go in from the factory. It is programmed already with program number 1, which is a 4-minute session. Program 2, which is a 16-minute session, building these, you can see the intensity levels as it's building. Program number 3 is a 20-minute session, and it's building, just going through the intensities. So,
running what we want.
well, and so I'm going to talk to you about just the thought process to do that. When you're thinking about what level do I put on what person, or how do I use these levels, a good reference point is the head likes the low numbers, likes intensity 1, 2, 3. And that's a very mild, so these are the frequencies of the earth. So it's not like sticking your cell phone on your head that has all of the crazy frequencies that are bad for us. But still, you want the frequencies that resonate with that part of the body. Now, if you were to put a 10 on your head, you're not going to die. However, if you're full of toxin and you just say that you're very toxic and you just get on the bed or on the stuff at a level 10, sometimes that's just too much too fast. So when you read the manual, Bemer recommends that you start at level 1. You do that twice a day for a week. You go to level 2. You do that twice a day for a week. And the reason is they don't know what toxic level people are at. So they can't make the judgment call of, oh, you can do a 5 or you can do a 10 because you're at this spot. So safe, safe, safe. And safe isn't it's going to work or you're going to die. Safe is you're going to be comfortable. And the only thing that may happen if you have a lot of toxicity in you and you're very dehydrated is you might get a headache. But we don't want to get a headache, so we just kind of go slow with what's going on. So here, when we have people coming into the clinic, we check with them if they have high blood pressure. We do very low. We do 1, 2, or 3. We put them on the mat. That just regulates, the heart likes that, just regulates what's going on, and their blood pressure, after coming for a while, their blood pressure goes down. Somebody comes in, they have a bad knee. Your knee is far away from your head. Usually it's harder to get blood down to our legs. I usually do 7, 8, 9, 10 on legs. I want, just more stuff going down. So if your knees were bad now, I'd probably start you on a 10. And did you ever have a headache? Did anything ever happen? You were fine, but I want a lot of action, a lot of blood coming into that area, so I'm trying to help. With that said, when you own a Bemer, it's not that one intensity is better than another intensity. One is different than the other one. So instead of just going, oh, I'm always going to do 10 on my knee, you think, oh, my body may like something different today. This one I'm going to do a 3. I'm going to do a 7. I'm going to do, because everything runs at a different frequency, and if you can share all of those things inside, it's just more healthy. When we see people and we only see them for 20 or 30 minutes a day, we're trying to give them the best scenario, the fastest we can, but you don't have to do that. You can just play with every spot and get every benefit of every frequency that's there. And so don't think that, oh, because my knee hurts, I can only do 10. Sometimes put a 2 on it, sometimes put a 10 on it, sometimes put 8 on it. Just work through those things. So what I also want to show you is, so these, you can see that 1, 2, 3 is a different color than 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The reason is these are pre-programmed from the factory, and these cannot be changed. These right now have no programming in them. So this is why I wanted you to come here, because when people get this, they don't know how to do that, and then they just always use this, which is not bad. But you have all of this wonderful stuff that you have access
You can
to.
use if they don't know, right?
Yeah, and you don't know. So I want to walk you through what this is, and you'll leave with all of these programmed. So we've talked about this one, which is just the intensity, which is for 8 minutes apiece. We've talked about this one, which is where we're going to program it. This one right here is the sleep mode. of all of the things when the Bemer came, I think the sleep was the hardest for me to understand because nobody knew how to use it. And it's like, how do we, and so I'm trying to, how do we use it? And they're saying, oh, and everybody had their opinion. It's so amazingly simple. And it's because we tried to make things so hard that we didn't know. So first of all, I need to know what time it is. Oh, actually, we can do that in a second. But what we're going to do is this number right up here is a clock.
Okay.
So we're going to set that clock for you here because when this comes from the factory, it's set at Liechtenstein.
Oh.
And so being in Asia, so right, I mean in close to Germany, so it's saying it's 1954, which is this evening. We want to make it so that it's this time right now, and once this clock is set, this is so easy. So we'll do a section after I get all of that programmed, and we'll you'll leave knowing how to do the sleep section. And then this right here is the light section. So I showed you on the B spot how it had the spot, but then it also had the light. So all of the pieces that you have with your Bemer work on everything except the light. The light will only work with the light button engaged. So I have another client that bought a Bemer and has been using it for several months now, just called me last week. Darla, my light doesn't work. What do I do? How do I do it? And she had talked to somebody and they said, oh, if you use your light, you can just use one piece. And I said, no. The reason, and I even said to her, I go, what are you doing? She's going, it won't turn on, it's doing this. And I said, check your spot because you probably don't have the light on. And that's exactly what she wanted to use the light, but she hadn't put the light on the spot. So now she was just trying to turn the spot on as a light, and it won't let you mess up. It will not allow you to do something wrong. So when you have your light engaged, you use the light setting, and these are different intensities of the light. And I was told, and I haven't heard any difference, that always the L4 is the kind of the strongest intensity. And so I go L4 and I go intensity 10. And when I'm doing any skin conditions, anything, that's what I use. So when I get more what those other levels will do, I'll share those, but right now that's been working amazingly fabulous. So so that's the light one. If it's not working, check to make sure your light's on. And you will try to do it by just going into it like everything else, and it won't work, and you go, my light won't work. It's because now you're trying to go from this spot to your light and not from the light spot to your light. So a good thing to remember. So now what we're going to do is program this unit. So if we look here, you can see these are all colored. It's like if you're going shopping, if you're doing anything, the colored stuff is what you're attracted to, what you use all the time, and that's exactly right here. When you turn on your Bemer, this comes up, and 99% of the time, you're going to go into these colored buttons, and they're all going to be fixed for you. When you need to work in the back of the Bemer, when you need to do your settings, you go down here and you want to go to your settings button. When you go to your settings button, you'll know that you're in there because there's no color. And so if you accidentally go here and there's no colors on anything, you're going to know, oh, there's no color. I'm now in the setting programming mode of my Bemer. I'm not in the working part of my Bemer. So it starts out right here, and you can set the volume. And I don't know if you can hear as I'm pushing this, you can hear the pop. So I personally don't like to hear that. I have 6 Bemers in my Bemer room here, and if I had where this made all of the noise that it would make, we would have bells and whistles and things going off all the time. So I have mine that it's on 0, that there's no sound coming out of it. But even if you want sound, I would recommend that you put it on the lowest sound. So we're going to start there, and if you find that you don't like that, then you know to come to this. You just push, here's the toggle switch, you just push this, it takes it off, and then save it. And now it has that lower sound level. But what's good about that is, say you're watching TV, you're on the Bemer, you get involved in your movie or something, you don't realize that my 20-minute session's over, and so now you're just sitting on your Bemer and nothing's happening. With this, then you're going to go, oh, it just finished, and I can restart it, or I can do something. So it's on the lowest setting. If that's not loud enough, raise it up.
Okay.
The same with the light. You'll be watching a movie, everything will be kind of dim, and this light will be so bright. So on mine, I have the lights so that they're set at a much dimmer level because I like my Beamer room to be very, very dim. However, it can be bright, it cannot be bright. So I'm going to take it down 2, leave 2 so that it's not just that much, but it's still some. Again, if you want it brighter, you can go up. If you want it less, you can go down. If you go all the way down, there still will be light. It will just be a lower light.
Okay.
So now we're going to save that spot.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get to the time. Now I need to know what time it is.
Yes, the time is 10:59, so I guess 11 a.m.
Well, see, it's already on 59, which is really cool because they set it there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so to set the time, it's again very simple. You just toggle, and if we get this before it changes,
Okay.
whoops, there it is.
Yep.
So now so it's at 10:59.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, it's 10. Yeah.
Okay, so now up here we're at 10:59,
Mm-hmm.
and with the clock being set, then the sleep mode is a piece of cake. It's when you don't set
It's
your.
not going to be on military time, or it is going to be on
It will be on military time,
Okay.
but people try to do the sleep mode and they don't set the clock, and then it's very difficult to get those things to work. But if you set your clock, then your sleep mode works perfectly.
Okay.
So now our clock is set. Now we are going to go into into the programs. Remember on this one where I told you that 1, 2, and 3 was programmed by the factory? Now we have all of these buttons that have nothing behind them. When you go there, there's no program, there's nothing there that the system's going to recognize.
Right.
So what I like and what I do here is, if you saw this, there's a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 10 Bemer levels that when you're using the Bemer. These are programmed so we don't get to use 1, 2, or 3. So I program that each level coincides with its number. So we're going to make number 4 be level 4, number 5 be level 5, 6 be 6, and the reason, so we don't have to remember. You're not punching, hunting, that I want a low one, I want a high one. You know that if you push 10, you're getting level 10. However, we want those low numbers. So the low numbers, what we do is 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 3 is 3. 1 plus, anyway, so we have,
Yeah.
so we have 10 will be level 10, then 11 will be 1 plus 1, which would be level 2, and 12 will be 1 plus 2, which will be 3. So we're going to have level 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we're going to have level 2 and level 3. So that way, when you're looking at this, it's like, oh, I want to put this on my head. You don't have to wait till you remember which one I told you to go to. Does that make it easy?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So now we're going to program those. To program it is very easy. I'm going to push 4, and then you just use your toggles again,
Okay.
and I'm going to go up to 4 and go to the next one. And I'm going to go up to 4 and go to the next one. This is like watching paint dry. I apologize.
Also, you have to put all those on 4.
Yes, so this is, when we're finished with this, you're going to have 20 minutes that's going to run on level 4. And now I'm going to save that.
Okay.
And if you look, now number 4 shows that it's
highlighted.
programmed.
Oh,
So we're going to do that with each one of these. And there again, once these are in here, you don't have to do it. But I like to do it with people watching so that you understand what's happening and you can change it. If you decide that something else is working better for you, you can go right here, change it for that, and it will work to exactly how you want it to work. We're going to save that. Now we're going to go to 6. Well, I must be missing the little toggle. It doesn't work so good when I miss the toggle.
Is that 5 or 6? Does it need to go up another one?
It does.
Yeah. It must be hard doing it upside down too.
Yeah.
It has a different reflection on the glass there.
Oh.
Let's save. We're gonna go to 7. So this is like a computer or like an iPad more.
Yeah.
Sometimes when your fingers are cold, it's a little, you try to make it work with your finger and it doesn't work. And so I find that if I just kind of punch it with my my fingernail and the top,
And it works.
it works every time, where I don't have to wait. I always have cold hands.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
So here we have program number 7. Program number 8. You got here right during the exciting part. Oops. There's 8. We're going to save it. Go to 9. It's harder keeping my finger going
I
straight.
know.
You got it. I'm gonna help.
Do you want to give it a try just so you know how easy this
Yeah,
is?
try, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause that's the, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. How it. I'm pressing it. Huh? What was that? Door light?
There you go. One more.
Oh.
I thought if you left one
If you
more.
left one more.
Yeah,
Oh.
one more.
So let's,
Yeah, one more.
Oh yeah,
Is
you're
it
right. Oh, good.
there.
Your 11 o'clock is here
Okay.
for your massage.
Okay. So now we're going to, so that one's in there. Now we're going to do 10
Okay. Cool. So we just do
all the way up to the top.
Oops, 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 oops. Did I get over there?
See it?
Yeah, you're right. And I'm also like, you said. The good thing is once we do this, we don't have to do it again, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, let's look. Is that a perfect?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we want to go back. So now we get to number 11. What did we say number 11 was?
2.
2.
Two, right?
So this actually goes real fast. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Oh, that's why.
Really fast, right?
No. The thing is kind of.
See how they're all highlighted
Yeah.
now, except for this, and this one we want 3. So
Three.
I want to put 3 in.
Like this, right? Yeah. Doing it.
Perfect. I see now they're all highlighted.
Yes.
And so, and each one of those now is going to be a 20-minute program. And when you use it, you'll turn it on. You'll hear the bell when it finishes. You can start it again. You can go to any of these different levels. And again, the lower levels, 1, 2, 3, the head likes that. The body likes 4, 5, 6, 7. Often for the kidneys, the liver, I'll put it on 6 and 7. It just seems to like that, but there again, go low, build up through those things, let the body get those frequencies. These are the wonderful frequencies of the earth. And so you don't want to just go, oh, I'm just going to take one. So, you know, go through those frequencies because Ray has had so much stuff coming in him and stuff. Start low. Start low, let his body detox, let his body naturally go through those levels. And Bemer recommends that before you sleep on a Bemer, that you go through that process for at least 4 to 6 weeks. And for him, you know, start off low, low, low. If he's doing good on these low numbers, you know, kick him up a little bit. But there's no race here. We just want the body to start to respond, to naturally detox, to start doing what it naturally does. And now that he can just do it so much, and don't fall into where Americans and more is better. Let his body go through that sequence, and especially here at the beginning, say he took this home and he was on it all day long, he wouldn't die, but so much detox may happen that it may be very uncomfortable to him. So we don't want to put him in any discomfort. So, you know, do it, you know, 2 or 3
Just like we're
times a
doing
day.
it here.
Yeah. And there was no discomfort.
No.
But we're always tempted that, oh, if it did so well there in a month, if I could go faster here.
No. Yeah.
And so, and when you get those toxins out and the body starts going, that's not an issue. You can do that. You just don't want to start at that spot to where the body took a long time to get to where it's at, and you need to give it some time to get back to where it's going. So let's talk about the sleep mode. And so now we're done. Oh, so this right here, for the strap, when you plug the strap in, you can go to a low frequency or you can use it at a high frequency. We always do high here. So I've just always left mine on high. And then this, the second one, this shows you, this is the information about your Bemer. How much time it's been running. You have an A1 slot, you have an A2 slot. So you can check here every, whatever, I hardly ever check mine, but it'll say if you've used it 12 hours, 20 hours, mine say 1,000 hours. So whatever time each one of these ports is used, it will tell you what's going on there and what your Bemer's doing. So those are the 6 program spots. When you get done with that, you can just back right out. And now you're back with the lights, and it's pretty, the colors, and so now you know that you're doing this. So let's talk about sleep. Now when you want to go to sleep and use the Bemer, what you want to remember is this right here has an alarm clock. The alarm clock is telling you what time do you want to wake up. It's not what time do you want to go to sleep. It's not how long do you want the Bemer to be on. It's what time do you want to wake up, and that's when the cycle will stop. On my Bemer, I sleep on a Bemer every night. I have this set for 6:15. So I usually get up between 6:15 and 6:30. So I have this for 6:15. So no matter what time I go to bed at night, I go into this thing. I don't have to program this every night because it's in there. And I can just push, I want to get up at 6:15, I push OK, I push start. On the weekend, it's like, I want to get up at 7:15. So often I'll just toggle that little up, and now I'm getting up at 7:15. Now, does that mean at 7:15 I have to get up? It doesn't mean that. It just means the sleep part on this is a patented sleep module, And how it works is that for 2 hours, so say you're going to bed and it's 10 o'clock. You push start. From 10 o'clock until 12 o'clock, the beamer will be on. So while you're sleeping, while you're going down into that deep REM sleep, the beamer will be on. After 2 hours, it turns off. It will stay off for whatever period that you have programmed there, and it will turn back on 2 hours before you want to wake up. So if you want to wake up at 6 o'clock, it's going to start at 4 o'clock. It's going to turn on so that it turns off at 6 o'clock when you're ready to wake up. So every night you get 4 hours of beaming, even if you slept for 8 hours. So if you sleep for 5 hours, actually they won't let you go too long and they won't let you go too little. So maybe 5 hours is pushing it. So what we're going to do is just make this to whatever time you feel, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, what time when you start sleeping on this do you think you'll want to wake up? 9 o'clock.
Dad wakes up at what time? Like 6 or 5?
Let's say at 6.
Okay.
Around 6.
So we're going to set this for 6 o'clock. And so then you will notice that when you look at this, that these numbers underneath are red. When those numbers are red, it will say it won't work. So if I wanted to go to sleep and I set this, it won't work. You're going to say mine doesn't work, it's broken. The reason is nobody can sleep from, so we just set it to turn off at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning because 6 o'clock this morning is already passed. So if we tried to start this right now, we're not going to sleep until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay.
So it won't let you go to,
You have to do it closer to when you go to bed.
it wants you to do 8, I mean, obviously we want to shoot for 8 hours of sleeping for perfect health, but most of us don't. But so if you're getting 8 hours, if you're getting 7 hours, if you're getting 6 hours, then when you look at this, you'll come in and you'll see what time it is, and it's like, oh, I'm going to bed and it's 10 o'clock. I want to get up at 6 o'clock. This number right here will be white.
Oh, it'll be,
And this number will tell you how many hours you're sleeping. So it will say, oh, you're going to sleep for 8 hours if you set it how it is like now. You push it, you get up later, or you do whatever, you're going to sleep for 9 hours. So, but when this is white, you just push OK, you push start, and it works perfectly.
okay.
When this number is red, it won't let you go.
Got it.
It won't let you use it. So people get stuck on, it's not working, how do I do it? Just remember, this is the time I want to get up. This has to be white when I'm done programming it. This has to be white. And then it's very, very simple.
Okay.
That's how easy it is to do the Bemer.
Okay.
Kind of a fun thing to know. So because most people can't feel the Bemer, in your case, you'll be able to see your husband probably come back to life as the coloring and stuff happens. But often, people will go, well, I don't feel anything, nothing's happening. This comes with it. When you turn this on and you put this over your mat, it creates a noise, not really a pleasant noise, but it tells you that this is in the frequency of a Bemer. And it's kind of fun when somebody's on a chair and you go, oh, look, you're on the Bemer, and then you go over to this chair over here, and it's like, oh, you're not on the Bemer. And so this tells you what's going on. Often when you pick this up, this is right behind, you will push this, and then it will be doing stuff, and it's, all you have to do is push it and hold it, and it turns it off. But it was one of those things that you have to, some things are great, and it's like, how do I turn it off? Do you feel comfortable?
I think so.
I mean,
You have 2 ports, A1, A2. I usually, because I try to put the mat in A1 just because then I know A1's the mat and I don't have to get into it to come out of it. But it doesn't matter. It's that way. It's just for because I'm doing different people and stuff, if I kind of know what's going on. I usually do the strap, the light, the whatever on A2. Does not matter. You could switch it. You could do whatever.
okay.
But when you're doing that, then you can look in, as you're programming the spot, you're going to, as you put, I'm going to do level 8, I'm going to do it for 20 minutes, you push it, and your 2 timers will come up here. Then you'll know that A1 is whatever the timer is, A2 will be whatever that timer is, and you can watch it here. You can watch it as it progresses down this row of things that we've done, and then it will beep when it goes off. There will be a picture right here that will show you your mat's plugged in, your straps plugged in, and when you have your light trying to do it and it's not working, it will show you where you're doing light and it's not working. Oh, I need to change my top. And then this will show you the light, it will show you the spot, whatever it is, this will show you what's happening. You may think that you're doing something else, but this will show you this is what we're doing. Then you can go, oh, that's not what I want to do. You can change it, you can do it, then you just push start. As these finish, even in here, I tell people when this gets to the end, you hear your thing, you want to restart it, you just go start, arrow, start. So that's starting A1, the arrow's going to change it to A2, and then you're going to start A2. And so if you're just getting that, I'm going to do 2 sessions today. It finishes, start, arrow, start. It starts both timers, it keeps both things going, and it will show you what each one of those are. So that's your Bemer. See, it's really simple. And I have to tell you, the best thing I heard, and I had this here, and I'm using it, and I was kind of, what's best? What do I do? What can I hurt somebody? Somebody said, there's nothing you can do that will kill anybody, that will hurt anybody. Oh, you know, if I put them on a 10 and they're really toxic, they may get a headache. It may not be comfortable, but I'm not going to hurt them. So that just took a load off of me. And then, but just knowing that, just start low, build up, and nobody will know better than you. Nobody will know your body better than you. So just just take it how it feels good. Turn it off. It goes down to travel. You pull this out. So if you get where you're traveling, you can buy a battery that will go in here that will last for a while. So I have a battery in one of my units because I often will go do a health show or something. And that way, when I didn't have a battery, it's like I have to have electricity, I have to do this, and it was always an issue for where I was at. Now, put me anywhere, I have a battery, I can do it. If you're not doing that kind of stuff or traveling, it's a nice thing, but it's not it's
not,
yeah.
it's simple.
Yeah. And then my mother-in-law actually bought one of these, and they do it while they're driving. They live in Northern California, so it's a long drive when they come down, and they love it. They plug it into the box sometimes, but when they're in a hotel or they're doing something, they don't have to unpack everything. They can just take in what they need. So know that those kind of things are available if your lifestyle is doing that. So if not, all is good. So and then you have my phone number. If you don't feel comfortable, if you have a question, don't live in, what do I do with this? Just call. Just find out what is the very best thing to do, and because it truly is the coolest thing that you've done so far is buying this. And I didn't know about these when I was caring for my parents, and every time I see these miraculous stories, I'm just, are you kidding? I could have had this for my parents. And so don't ever be in the what if or how do I, let's call. If I don't know, I will find out. So take it for the greatness that it is, and don't let it be.
Oh no, I tell Stephanie, because I see the change on Ray when he was the beginning.
And we tried to get that back, and we just, I'm ready.
Almost done?
Yes, I'm
Okay,
done.
because she said she can come back.
So I'm good. I'm just going to put this in the box. And this box will not last you, like if you travel and we're gonna go, it's just not made to be like your travel box. Because I do shows, I just got a thing at Walmart that was actually these same colors that had wheels on it, that I just put it all in that and I wheel it where I'm going.
Okay, so we can always find something else to travel with it better.
Yeah.
Okay.
So don't be frustrated if.
And how about the heating pad in the other side?
So that isn't Bemer. The heating pad is far infrared. And those are things that I have just put into there. I'm trying to get far infrared here where I can sell it, and I haven't yet. I have my pads here, but
And how about the other one, the chakra, the other?
that's this one.
Oh, okay, this one.
That was
Yeah.
the long one, right?
Oh, that's the long one, is that what, okay.
Yep, it's this one right here.
Okay, so that one, so, okay.
Yeah.
So that was just that in the heating pad, but if you know, we can always buy another one on the heating pad, right?
Yeah, and if you look and do that, you want far infrared, because that is such a deep penetrating heat.
Oh, okay, we have to,
But I'm still working on it.
We'll look at that next. We'll
Yeah.
get comfortable using this and then we'll, yeah, that's fine.
so I'm saying that because your dad used to like, oh, my heating pad, he's always asking Dana for that heating pad.
Well, and then when we got him where he was warm, it wasn't that
Yeah.
big a deal. But that's even why I have him here, is because they're so small that it's hardly. We have big ones too that we do for treatments, but those are more just the comfort of what they do. I changed some of those things around to fit in there better. Okay, this, you poke the plug through one of those, and so then it comes on. That's nice.
It's heavy.
And there's when you just have what you're using, it's not bad, but you have all the plugs, all the things, it's the book.
And how about the chair?
Oh, yes. I always.
Let's see. You gotta take this and you take the chair. Okay. Yeah, okay, and the car is just right outside.
Oh, perfect, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because I will put everything right
Yeah.
there.
So what I have, I bought, so this is lawn furniture, and then I just bought just a mat for your lawn furniture. I got it at Overstock, that I put on mine just to make them a little more comfortable. You don't
Like a
need to.
cushion or something?
Yeah. And then with mine, I have the Bemer next to this, and I have that cushion on the outside. So the Bemer's not even sitting here next to you. It's in between. It's sandwiched between the cushion and the chair.
And it's
Oh,
still enough to.
Yeah. If they say it will go through a mattress.
Oh.
So I don't have mine under a mattress, but I have it
Oh,
under
so you
that
say we
cushion.
can put the cushion there? No, the Beamer, then the cushion, and then, oh,
Yeah.
sure. Oh, okay.
But right now you don't have a cushion. Put it there. Stick Ray in there.
Yes, that's exactly.
Well, he's waiting for us.
Yeah, he did dialysis today, so on the Tuesdays and Thursdays
He
So-
needs this so bad.
If you can, so he goes someplace to do dialysis,
yes,
right?
yeah, 3 days a week.
If he had, I don't know if, so they have the seat that comes with it you can buy, which may be easier, but if he took this and did dialysis with it, his treatment would be so much easier. Because the blood's moving and it pulls that stuff